It's my great delight now to introduce the speaker from the LL.M class, Leonidas. You have your fan club? Leonidas Theodosiou. Leonidas graduated summa cum laude from the Law School of Aristotle University of Thessalonica. He obtained a Master's of Law degree from Trinity Hall, University of Cambridge, where he read English commercial law. At Cambridge, he served as vice president of the Graduate Law Society and the graduate student representative to the Faculty of Law Board. His scholarships and distinctions include those from Cambridge Trust, the Fulbright Foundation, PwC, and the Greek government. Here at Harvard Law School, he has been a frequent attendee of the Traphangen Lecture Series. He served as a research assistant to Professor Mark Rowe. He enjoyed a range of courses, and he wrote a paper on the topic of, and I quote, the possibility of forum shopping in European insolvency proceedings, under the supervision of Professor Holger Spamann. After his graduation, Leonidas will join the Brussels office of Clifford Chance as an associate in the area of European competition law. Welcome you to the podium.
Dean Minot, distinguished members of the faculty, proud families and friends, fellow graduates of the LL.M, SJD, and JD class of 2013. This is the day to celebrate our success, to reflect on our achievements, but most important of all, to express our gratitude to those who have made our achievements possible. On behalf of all graduates assembled here today, I would like to thank our parents, families, significant others for all the love and support you've given us, for waking up early or staying up late at the other end of the world just to speak to us, for reminding us to eat and sleep well, for putting up with our frustrations during the exams, but above all, for believing in us. I hope that we have made you proud today. My story, like many of yours, is a global one. I was born of a Lithuanian mother and Greek father, both aspiring journalists who met in Moscow during the Cold War. I grew up in a small city in the Greek countryside. Even though my family was well educated, when I first encountered the name Harvard, I hardly thought that I would ever visit it, never mind being ended up as a student here. Yet, here I am, and here we all are. As LL.M students, we arrive here with a range of backgrounds. Whether we have been professional lawyers, successful officials, judges and legal scholars, or recent graduates with more limited life experiences, we have come here ready to absorb new knowledge and encounter new challenges. We could not have wished for a better environment for our intellectual and personal development. With more than 180 students from more than 70 countries around the world, our LL.M group celebrates its cultural diversity and has fostered a culture of respect for these differences that make us unique. We worked with SJD students who have inspired us with their dedication to legal scholarship. We learned with and from our JD classmates. Together, we created an intellectually stimulating environment and formed a marketplace of ideas where all students interact and learn from one another. In class, we came to participate the importance of thinking beyond black letter laws in order to develop our own perception of what is right and wrong, or sometimes simply what is the best under the circumstances. Our learning experiences have extended beyond the classrooms too. Earlier in this year, a group of us took a trip to Maine. We borrowed a canoe to explore an island in the middle of a lake. The views were stunning. When it was time to return, we began paddling so hard, but realized that we were not moving at all. It seemed that the strong wind and water current were holding us back. We started to panic, worried that we would be deserted on that island. It took us about 15 minutes to realize that our boat was still tied to the pole. This story taught me two things. First, sometimes we only need to untie one single knot to set us free. That just a tiny change in our perception can be the difference between the failure and success. And second, that some of us should stick to their day jobs. Among the lessons we have learned at Harvard is that law can serve as a tool for social change, a guarantee of fundamental rights, as a means to combat discrimination and social injustice. In Greece, for instance, as a result of the protracted economic crisis, we witnessed the rise of neo-fascism. In response, new laws are being prepared to afford greater protection to minorities and other vulnerable groups against discrimination, violence, and hate speech. Law, in this case, assumes an active role in the defense of democracy in the land where democracy was born. It would be easy to say that there is only so much that lawyers can do. Still, I think of the words the Greek philosopher Heraclitus, who said, "The people should fight for their laws as they would for their city wall." Although this was said 26 centuries ago, and alas, Heraclitus was not a Harvard alumnus, his words are still of great relevance to us today. I therefore urge all of us to take part in this fight for our laws, the laws that facilitate justice in our global law, in our global city to which we all belong. Regardless of whether we are private or government lawyers, legal scholars, or activists, we share the obligation to help create and fight for these legal rules that would contribute to social justice and to protection of the fundamental rights of the citizens, and to promote the interpretation and application of the law towards the same goals. When I join the antitrust department of a private firm later this year, this principle shall continue to guide me. Ultimately, the application of antitrust laws, like all laws, must promote the interests of the people. In this case, consumers and weaker economic actors. These laws affect individuals, merchants, and big companies alike. They affect the corner grocer where my parents shop for family meals. They affect individuals in their daily lives. It will be my responsibility as a practitioner to keep these individuals in mind so that their stories can be shared as I have shared mine today. Today, many of us will graduate with pride, some with relief, others with the sadness of having to leave. For me, the overarching feeling I have as I graduate is gratitude. To the Harvard Law School and its members, thank you for the best education I have ever received, both in and outside classrooms. To my fellow students, thank you for your friendship and warmest congratulations on your success. To all the parents, families, and friends, and especially to my mom and dad back in Greece, who cannot be here today, this commencement is for you, as much as it is for us, and so I thank and congratulate you. I encourage all graduating students today to join me in improving our global city. Thank you.